I was messing with this dude named Mo. He had an anniversary Z. Cha! It was the middle of the crack epidemic. There's so much money around. BBs, monies, crack. Ooh, it was magnificent. MCMs, hairdos that was hard as shit. It was crunch when you touch it. Ooh, it was magnificent. Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Diana had always said that she intended to marry a wealthy man, just as her idol, Jackie Onassis, had married Aristotle Onassis. By 1985, Arne Ness was said to be worth more than $100 million, but those reports of his wealth were exaggerated. He is a rich man, but not that rich. Of course, this discussion of his finances is relative. Arne is a millionaire many times over, but close business associates estimated his liquid wealth to be about $25 million. Can you get it? Listen, if I was Diana Ross and I had money and I thought that I was marrying a man who had more money than me, and then I found out, wait a minute, they inflating his money, okay? And you find out that you're pretty much the main breadwinner in this relationship. I'm like, oh, should I have married him? Yikes. I believe when Philippa was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Because according to Philippa, he was a ghost dad, okay? He wasn't there to help her raise or rear the children. Not even after the relationship was over. He was still never around. He would get his secretary to call the children and give the children his itinerary for the day. And if I'm not busy during my break, you little niggerlings can come over.
I am absolutely sure that Diana Ross has a lot more money than Arne Ness, said one person who has known Ness for more than 2 decades and who, as a reporter, has covered Ness's exploits in the Norwegian press for many of those years.
Diana's total wealth has been estimated to be $500 million. That too has been exaggerated. She is actually worth about $75 million. That's good to me. Diana was advanced $20 million when she signed with RCA in 1981. The money was wisely invested, and the return for her has been enormous. When Forbes and Fortune magazine published their annual list of the richest men in the world, most are billionaires, not millionaires. Arne Ness is never included. Your name ain't in here, baby. This is Forbes, the top 100 richest men in the world or people in the world. Baby, your name ain't in here. What's going on? Didn't you tell me you was a rich man? Listen, we know that Mr. Arne ain't rich, okay? He ain't broke, but he ain't rich either, okay? So when Diana is talking about she want, birds with gold socks on, gold doves flying around with gold socks on, I want, actual pixies throwing rice, okay? I want, all the women from the Isle of Lake Minnetonka to provide my hair. Y'all, did y'all know that Beyonce got these two twins over there in India that grow hair specifically for her? Did you know that? Girl, that's money, okay? She done bought two goddamn twin girls that grow hair for her wigs. Them motherfuckers don't never gotta work again. I bet you all they do is eat like nuts and berries, fruit bars, okay, and protein shakes. However, when he discovered that the wedding would cost about $500,000, he drew the line. According to Norwegian friends, he told her that he was not going to pay for that wedding. That's the trick. You want that lavish wedding? You pay for it.
Friends of the couple predict that the differences is bound to cause conflict in a marriage. Just as it appears that Arne has tried to use his money to dominate Philippa, if Diana ever does the same to Arne, the marriage won't last long. Whatever else he may be, Arne Ness is not the type to allow anyone to push him around. Also, according to people who know him well, if he ever begins to feel inferior because of Diana's greater wealth, that will not bode well for the relationship. After the way he was taunted in school, Arne vowed never again to allow himself to feel any way inferior to anyone.
After they were pronounced husband and wife, Diana and Arne embraced and kissed passionately for several moments. For Diana Ross, a girl from the Brewster Projects of Detroit, this whole scene must have seemed surreal. Arne Ness certainly appeared to be the idealized romantic catch of every woman, white as well as every black. And he was hers. The fact that she really had more money than he did was inconsequential, since no one knew about that. None of Diana's immediate family, other than her children, was in the wedding party, and indeed, from all reports, it doesn't seem that any of them even attended the wedding. Some of Arne's friends, family, and business associates viewed Diana's union with Arne Ness not only with skepticism, but cynicism. For instance, one of Arne's closest relatives had this comment to make about his new wife. Well, okay, I admit it. She is not very deep, but she always seems so happy. Negroes are always happy. Really. They're always laughing, smiling, and playing music. The fuck mean? Is he calling us scuttlebutts? Another very close relative to Arne, you have affairs with those kinds of women. You don't marry them. A former girlfriend of Arne had this observation. Oh yes, Arne has gone off and married the big Negro mama with long pink nails. That comment was published in the Norwegian press. That was jealousy. That was jealousy. That ain't gonna make me mad. I'd be like, ooh, that bitch mad. She mad at me. Arne Ness has apparently taken quite a bit of flack for marrying a black woman. Many people in the shipping community and in Arne's social circle do not care that Diana Ross is a star. They only care that she is black, and that is a constant topic of conversation. You ain't gonna be sitting in my house talking about daily how I'm black. You ain't be doing that. This is my fucking house. You and your friends better go out there to the park and talk about black. It's been said that Diana's children, Rhonda, Tracy, Chutney, did not have an easy adjustment when 6 months after the wedding, Diana enrolled them in the same private Swiss prep school, Le Rosie, that Arne's children attended. The school is international in its student bodies. Arabic, English, Germans, French, Scandinavian, all in attendance, but blacks are definitely in the minority.
Though Arne's children, by his marriage to Philippa, had friends in Verbier and have been able to introduce Diana's offspring into their social circle, it is still not easy for her daughters. In what seems like a peculiar decision, Diana had her own children give up their father's name of Silberstein and enroll them in La Rosie under the surname of Ross. Diana has never explained her decision. It has been speculated perhaps she did so in order to ensure that when her daughters are introduced, they would be instantly identified as being children of a celebrity.
I've heard her say that on other talk shows, right? That, not my kids. You ain't gonna be treating my kids like they regular. You know, this is Rhonda Ross, Tracy Ross, who else is that? Chutney Ross. And, I don't know how Ross does it. I think he's Ross' niece. He's the only one. And, Evan Ross, and she says it's because she wants them, to automatically be identified as her children. Rhonda Ross is absolutely royalty. Oh my gosh. And she's like just the most regular person. I just love her. Love Rhonda Ross. I love all the kids, right? She's saying that, okay, when you look at my children, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Them kids kind of look like Diana Ross. Is that Diana Ross's son? Yes. His last name Ross, ain't it? Is that Diana Ross's daughter? Yes. Her last name Ross is it. So that was her intent. On the flip side, you would think that the father, Bob Ellis, would have a concern with it. But no, he didn't. Because eventually he changed his last name, Silberstein, to his middle name, Ellis. And that's why Tracy's name is Tracy Ellis Ross. When Philippa and Arne separated, he told her he was no longer interested in domestic life. Arne had been so preoccupied with his business affairs, he had not been an ideal father. So when he remarried and had 2 new children almost immediately, her friends say Philippa found it difficult to reconcile all of this.
When he was stingy with financial aid, she must have felt even more bitter. He denied her emotional support as well. Once Philippa was having a domestic problem with one of her teenage children and asked Arne to step in and assist her. Friends say he mailed her an instructional audio tape he had apparently been given by Diana. How to deal with your teenagers.
Let me tell you something. Diana is a piece of work because it was some kind of chalet. I think I mentioned it before, but it was a chalet that was supposedly given to the wife. It was supposed to be one of the 2 things that she got, okay? And Diana found a way to get that from Philippa, okay? Because on the outside of it, it was the house of Philippa and Arne, okay? Donna Ross was like, you need to take that shit down. Take it down, okay? I'm sorry, but you need to get this from your ex-wife. She okay? Ain't her people's rich? She'll figure it out. Now that Arne is with a woman who is absolutely, positively self-made. Say what you want to say. When you're dealing with a woman like Diana, it's hard for her to have pity for a woman who comes from damn near royalty. Why you gotta help her so much for? In her family royalty, I come from the Brewster's Projects, and I done bring myself up to this status. Why she can't do it? I sometimes have this sentiment myself. Some women feel like, you owe me this because I dedicated my life to you. And to me, instead of sulking, baby, come up with your own hustle. Ain't nothing more hurtful than when you don't need a nigga no more. If Diana was smart, she would try to influence Arne into taking care of all this unfinished business with his first wife, said a friend of Philippa's. But Arne and Diana would not make it easy. After Ross and Evan were born, Diana was determined to jump back into the record-selling pop music world. In the last few years, other black divas had taken over, the most successful being Whitney Houston, who is to today's generation what Diana Ross was to the 70s audience. Lynn Hirschberg wrote in Vanity Fair, March 1989, that Diana Ross gets irritated when anyone mentions the young singer's name in her presence because she is jealous of Whitney Houston's success. Hirschberg claimed that after her wedding, Diana stopped worrying about Houston's fame, but then became concerned again, as if Whitney Houston's few years of fame can somehow threaten Diana Ross. That's true, girl. You are what the gays call legendary, okay? Whitney Houston is legendary too, but she's not yet legendary. We just getting to know her, okay? The drag queens ain't start looking like Whitney Houston, child, maybe till like about The Bodyguard, okay? And I don't think The Bodyguard is out just yet. Like, if she sees you at a threat, she gonna have to take you down, okay? Now, me, I ain't got time for that. I got my own problems. But some people have this competitive nature even when the other person is not competing with them. But that's how they remain on top. okay, by constantly competing with people. That ain't my struggle. Ironically, one of Houston's producers is Michael Masser, the man responsible for many of Diana's most memorable records. The theme from Mahogany, Touch Me in the Morning, and It's My Turn, among others. Masser has said that Diana refused to work with him in the 80s because he is so precise and controlling in the studio. So he turned his attention to Houston, and the results speak for themselves. Now, you know damn well that Whitney Houston's mammy is Sissy Houston, okay? And we know Sissy don't play no games. So we know that Whitney Houston is used to direction. She's already got that made. This girl, what was she, 11, singing backgrounds for Shaka Khan? Oh my God. So he turned his attention to Houston, and the results speak for itself. Practically every song he has produced for her sounds as if it could have been tailor-made for Diana Ross. So true. Her pop songs definitely could have worked with Diana Ross. My name is not Susan, so watch what you say. That one. What other one? I Want to Dance for Somebody. Now, it wouldn't have the range, but Diana Ross could have definitely did it. Definitely. What's another one of Whitney Houston's songs that you see Diana sing? 3 of them went to #1 on the charts. Whitney Houston has been guided every step of the way in her career by her record company president, Arista Clive Davis. Oh, what did we name him? I think Smiling Happily named him El Diablo. That's what we call Clive Davis, El Diablo. Much the way Berry Gordy masterminded Diana Ross's original fame. Whitney Houston was being considered for the starring role in the film version of Dreamgirls. I didn't know that, y'all. I didn't know that. The musical, not Mary Wilson's book. Houston would portray the character in Dreamgirls based on Diana Ross. Considering how Diana felt about the show, her reaction to the news was not surprising. She was not happy about it and reportedly had her attorney look into the matter. Whitney's spokeswoman, Jean Harvey, tried to calm everyone by insisting that Houston had not received a concrete offer to do the film. But Whitney was quoted as having said, "I'm very upset by Diana's actions. It's a great part, and it's the one I want to be my acting debut. I don't want it ruined by anyone." When Lynn Hirschberg mentioned Whitney's possible casting in Dreamgirls, Ross snapped on her. "I heard that isn't true. I heard that Whitney wasn't doing the movie." Hirschberg said that it took Diana a moment to calm herself while the subject was changed. That's because them Aries, y'all got anger problems. Houston continues to be a problem for Ross, especially given the fact that Hollywood producer Howard Rossman is in the process of mounting a Josephine Baker film biography that does not include Diana but will apparently star Whitney. So let me say this, okay? Remember earlier we were talking about how, from time to time, it'll just be speculation that there's going to be a movie coming out about certain people, like I said about the Richard Pryor movie. I remember just about every year they were talking about the Josephine Baker story being made. Now, let me tell you what is very special about this Josephine Baker movie, because that was our Black performer. She was exotic. She crossed racial barriers. She wasn't afraid of the nudity involved in some. She garnered audiences, Black and white. She was a spectacular performer. The greatness of this movie and why Diana Ross was so intrigued by it was because I believe this was going to be the first biopic of a Black female star, okay? And if anyone deserved it, I believe Diana Ross deserved it. Like I've said before, I believe Diana Ross would have been an excellent Josephine Baker. He said Whitney was a little concerned about the nudity involved, but she realizes it's absolutely necessary. Considering the fact that Diana has been attempting to launch her Josephine Baker project for well over 10 years, this news must certainly be disconcerting to her. Diana Ross' feelings towards Whitney Houston echo the way she used to feel about Lola Falana. Lola Falana, not my Lola Falana. Y'all, if I ever get a dog, listen, I am trying to get me a French bulldog. So I went into the pet store first, right? I was like, I don't like dogs, but I'm kind of warming up to one, right? My wife went into the pet store after me and started falling in love with this French bulldog, right? She had it in the box with her, came home, was like, baby, I'm about to get you your dog, right? It's only $1,200. I said, $1,200, baby, I don't know about that. Is it a mutt? And then she was like, no. The man told me $1,200. We sat down, we ate dinner. She was so excited, okay? So we go back I said, baby, let's go back to the place because I need to understand. So, oh my God, my wife is in there. She's like, come bring out our dog, right? And I'm trying to tell the dude, I said, now explain to me why this dog costs $1,200. The dude ain't hear me, okay? He goes into, oh, this is what comes with it. That's what comes in it. And I said to him, after he breaks it, I said, but you're not answering my question, okay? Then my wife interjects and said she wants to know why the dog costs $1,200. Child, why the gay say to her, $1,200? No, that dog costs $12,000. That's a Frenchie. Y'all, okay? If y'all know where I can get me a French bulldog with papers, please let me know. I got to get, and I'm going to name the dog Lola. Diana Ross's feelings toward Whitney Houston echo the way she used to feel about Lola Falana, a protege of Sammy Davis who was popular in the 70s and signed to Motown. She actually resembled Diana Ross. I don't know about that. You got to know. Lola Falana was fine as shit, okay? I ain't saying Diana ain't fine, but Lola Falana had like a youthful appearance about her, okay? Diana Ross, very beautiful, very elegant, very sophisticated, classy woman, but she has never looked young. Never. Not even as a Supreme. I said what I said. She actually resembled Diana Ross, but Falana never had a release the entire time she was under contract. She certainly was no real threat to Diana's career. Right. In April 1988, Diana and Arne attended the Academy Awards in Los Angeles. They wanted to interview her and Arne on the red carpet at the Academy Awards, right? Diana said, hell no. Hell no. Is that where the camera going to be? You going to have the camera right there? The camera was from a downward position looking up at her. Diana Ross was like, hell no. And then you see all this and all that and oh no. And then maybe you can see some of my rolls or something like that or my girdle. No. Okay. Now she escaped that. Okay. Because she didn't want people talking about her. She is 40-something now. Okay. And that's when things start to drop. Right. They ain't dropped too bad because Diana Ross said 80-something still looks very beautiful to me. Beautiful is beautiful. Her past came back to haunt her once again. When as she left Spago, that's the after spot, after the Academy Awards, club party, she did with her husband, and was standing in the parking lot. Someone in a crowd of spectators shouted at her, "Florence Ballard died for your sins." For a moment, Diana Ross looked as though she had been slapped. Girl, you can't get away from that. So we in the summer of 1988. I'm in the 11th grade, child, doing my thing. Ooh, make it last forever. Yeah, I was messing with this dude named Mo. He had an anniversary Z. Child. It was the middle of the crack epidemic. There's so much money around. BBs, monies, crack. Ooh, it was magnificent. MCMs. Hairdos that was hard as shit. It would crunch when you touch it. Oh, it was magnificent. It's in 1988, and she is now meeting with Jacqueline Onassis because remember, Jackie O had said to her, come on, let's do a book together, right? But Diana Ross was like, okay, we'll do a book, but it won't be nothing about me and my business. It'll be inspirational. I'm going to inspire everybody. In the spring of 1988, Diana and Arne met with Doubleday editor Paul Bresnick and his associate at their offices. Accompanying the Nesses and representing Diana Ross were two literary agents from the William Morris Agency. In the meeting, Diana made it clear that she still wanted to write the inspirational book with no personal details that she had presented to Jackie O. Diana was all sweetness and light, said one Doubleday executive who attended the meeting. Arne was grim and serious, extremely unfriendly. It was as if they had planned a strategy in advance. She would be personable while he would be menacing. He scowled a lot. Arne busted out suddenly and said, "Wait a minute, let's get to the business. Look, let's just get down to it. How much are we talking about here? How much are you going to pay? That's really what we want to know anyway."
The William Morris agents both became red-faced and sat down in their chairs. A substantial advance high in the six figures was offered, and the meeting was adjourned. A few more weeks of discussion about the book with Doubleday ensued. When Michael Jackson heard that it seemed that Diana would be writing memoirs for the same house that published his best-selling Moonwalk autobiography, he had to laugh. He told his associate editor at Doubleday, Shay Earhart, "Listen, if you think I was difficult, just wait." Finally, much to Doubleday's consternation and without their knowledge, Diana and Arne went upstairs to Warner Brothers in the same building and consummated a deal with that house to publish the Ross memoirs. The advance was reported to be within the $1 to $2 million range. The deal was struck without giving Doubleday a chance to make any counteroffers.
In July 1988, Berry Gordy sold Motown Records to MCA Records and the investment group Boston Ventures Ltd. for $61 million. That's not enough. I know y'all like, "Nay, 61 million now ain't 61 million then." That still ain't enough. You're not just selling the company, you selling legacies, brother. The last few years had not been good in Motown. It became more and more difficult to introduce new artists and get radio airplay for their records. Most of the major acts had defected to other labels, leaving Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, and Lionel Richie as its only major stars. All three had become erratic sellers. At the time of the Motown sale, Diana Ross found herself without a record deal. Her contract with RCA had expired, and neither she nor the company was willing to renew it. In February 1989, Diana re-signed with Motown Records. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit Up Top Beauty. These bangles are on sale. Now, remember, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one. Get that booster, y'all.